Gratitude, 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 peace and blessings, peace and love. Welcome, 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 everyone. Thank you guys for coming in. How's everyone doing this evening? All right. I pray all of you are doing well. We'll get started when 100 people get in here. I pray all of you guys are doing well. I pray everybody is at peace, which is what we're going to talk about today. Very important right now to be at peace, fam. Right? We talk about all this deep spiritual, psychological stuff, but we have to come down to reality. All right, we had 100 people. I'm gonna get started. We have to come down to reality, family. We have to understand the times we're in. And one of the things you have to do is build your vessel. I'm gonna make that very clear, family. You need to build your vessel. What in the world is Brother Yosef talking about? Building your vessel. Building your vessel. What in the world am I talking about? Building your vessel, family, has everything to do with your evolution, your spiritual evolution. But if you can't get your emotions in check, you can't get your life in check, if you can't get certain things in check, like learning how to be peaceful, learning how to have peace, then you're going to struggle with your evolution. All right? Peace to everybody coming in. Some of the names I recognize, some of the names I don't recognize. Peace and love, giving the Gisu to all my tribal members. Peace and love to the Patreon members. Peace and love to the New Life Tool members. Before I start, I just want to say that for those who are looking for the Lord Ganesha medallions, they are back in stock. Okay, Lord Ganesha, if you're looking for that medallion, okay, it's back in stock, family. So you can go to my website, newlifetools.org. That's NULYFE. Sister Taylor, can you put that up? I saw you in here. Can you put that up for me? newlifetools.org. Someone said, will you ever make a medallion that will protect you when you astral plane, when you're on the astral plane? I just made a medallion called the Starlight Medallion. Sold out like that. Sold out like that, family. So I'm waiting to get some more of those in. All lowercase NULYFE tools.org. But yes, I want you guys to go there if you want to get the new Lord Ganesha medallion. Also, if you guys like to support, I just finished my daughter's book called Nubia and the Forgotten Drum. Right? If you guys want to support that, the link is below. The link is below the description. Thank you guys for your love and support. Thank you guys for your love and support. All right. So welcome, family. Welcome. Let's talk about building our vessel. Right. I'm gonna do a series on certain things you need to follow before you get into all the deep magic. A lot of people wonder why the deep magic don't work for them, because your vessel isn't ready for it. We're going to talk about how to build your vessel today. One of the most important principles and things you guys need to understand to build your vessel is peace, right? Peace. Somebody said, will I ever make rings? I don't know if I'm gonna make rings, family. We'll see what the future holds. But peace is very important. Protect your peace, right? Protect your peace, right? I consider myself a peaceful individual. You know what I'm saying? I can take it there. You know what I'm saying? If it come down to it, you know what I'm saying? If I have to, you know what I mean? But for the most part, thank you, Sister Butterfly. Thank you so much. I can go there if I have to, right? But I practice not going there. I practice not going there, family. All right. I practice protecting my peace. All right. And we're going to do some slides today to help you guys understand deeper level what I mean. Okay. Also, I have a Cauldron class coming up in July. If you guys want to know some deeper secret spiritual techniques dealing with the Cauldron, right? How to use a Cauldron, magical Cauldron You guys can go to the website as well, newlifetools.org. I'm going to pin this one to the top so you guys can, well, I think you got to do it, Sister Butterfly, pin that to the top. I don't think I can. Maybe I can. I don't know. There we go. So people know where to go. So yes, I thank you all for your love and support. And then I got another surprise to tell you guys about as we get ready to go. You know, I've been busy. I just got back from vacation, taking my daughter to SeaWorld. I was in San Antonio, you know, taking my daughter to SeaWorld. But, you know, that was good. That was great. Now it's back to business, right? Spirit said, you got things to do. And this is the first thing the Spirit wanted me to do this when I got back, is talk about this topic right here. There's wars going on, family, right? There's wars going on in the world. Many, many wars. And we need to learn how to protect our peace. And we're going to talk about that today, right? Reasons to protect your peace. Inner peace isn't just about modern wellness concept. It isn't just a modern wellness concept. It is a sacred principle anchored in ancient spiritual traditions across cultures. That's right. They practice peace. They practice peacefulness. What do we say in the conscious community? Peace, family. What do they say in the 5%er community? Peace, God. Peace, earth. Peace is everything. What is it? Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice? Peace is everywhere. Practice peace, right? Practice peace, family. So before we get started, I want to let you guys know I wasn't going to do an in-person event this year, but I will be doing an in-person event this year, the Coyote Salagi Tribe. So I'm inviting everyone to my third annual event, all right? My third annual event called the Return of the Divine Old Ones. Come to if you want to know what that means, come to the event. You know what I'm saying? Return of the Divine Old Ones. We are accepting up to about 7 or 8 vendors. If you want to vend, you can email us at Keowee Tribe, KEOWEE tribe.org. I mean, excuse me, KEOWEE tribe at gmail.com, right? Sister Butterfly, can you put that up as well? I try to call her by her tribal name, Divine Butterfly, right? Well, I could put it up as well. So and this is going to be our email. This is where you can email us if you want to be a vendor. We had vendors last year. It was a really dope event. So I knew someone was going to ask that. Will it be available online? No. And the reason why is because I'll be talking about some of my tribal stuff, and it is not for the broader public. So this is an only in-person event. This will not be online. It's strictly an in-person event. Tickets are $110, October 4th. So you got mad time, family. Mad time. Yes, that deity looks the way it does on purpose. Return of the Divine Old Ones, October 4th at the Shrine of the Black Madonna, right, in Houston, Texas. Everything you need is right there. You guys will see that flyer going up starting tomorrow. All right. So welcome. Come on down. Come on through. You can get some unique, some of the jewelry. You know, you guys, some people like some of the stuff I make. You can get some of this stuff at the actual event. And we're going to make it happen. All right. So come on down to Houston. It's a great place if you've never been here. October 4th at noon, Shrine of the Black Madonna. All right. The Coyote Salagi Tribe. It's our third annual event. We are inviting the public to our event. And we're going to do a metaphysical event as well. Return of the Divine Old Ones. So come on out, family. Come on out. All right. All right. What does it mean to protect your peace? Safeguarding your inner calm from external chaos. That is so true. We need to safeguard ourselves from external chaos. That's what's going on in the world right now, family. Right? There's wars and rumors of wars going on. Right? People protested in the streets. And you got the regular stuff that happen every day. Right? And things are getting more expensive. Right? Stuff is in just straight chaos this week. Excuse, not just this week, but around this time. This month has just been nuts. Right? This month has just been nuts, family. But we have to learn how to be at peace, right? And safeguard ourselves from all this external chaos. Peace is also essential for your spiritual growth and fulfillment. You know how many unpeaceful people I know spiritually? You have to understand, and don't get me wrong, everybody at one point is dealing with some unpeacefulness, right? We all got stuff in our life that you just can't avoid. You can't avoid it, family. But don't practice being unpeaceful. Don't do that. In my opinion, the most of the people that don't like this type of stuff about talking about peace are the exact people I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to be peaceful. They rather do a quick ritual and spell to fix it. They don't need to change their personality at all. We're going to do a quick fix it spell. We got to get out of that quick fix it spells. We're going to have to evolve, family. And that's what the spirit is pushing me to do, whether I, get more followers or not. I'm here to do my duty. You know what I'm saying? And my duty is to push evolution. Push evolution. You don't hear a lot of people on YouTube talking about evolution. I'm one of the people that's talking about evolution. I wanted to show you guys how to evolve. I have not even come close to revealing all the information I have personally on evolution. All right. I don't have the Mudra class up right now, but I will be putting it back up in the future. Oh, Dragon Magic 103. You can also go to Sister Divine Butterfly. You can put in our ministry website, the KOE ministry website. That is where you can find the Dragon Magic 103 class. It is up, fam. If you guys missed it and you wasn't able to make it, Dragon Magic 103 is available. It is on the website. So it's essential for your spiritual growth, fam. Somebody said, are you middle left hand or right hand path? I consider myself right hand path just to help people understand which way I'm going towards. Right? I don't really get into all the, I've explained it before, but I don't like to get into the left hand path, right hand path, because some people don't believe it. And they're right to, they're right to say that. On a higher level, consciously, no, it doesn't exist. It's all energy. And I already told you guys you can evolve. Go watch my video, how to evolve on a right hand path. And I'll explain the left hand path and the right hand path from there. So I'm going to answer questions as I read, family, all right? Someone asks, can I explain my deer chain? This is my chief chain, all right? This is my chief chain, right? And this is something I created myself, and it has our gemstones in it, which is turquoise, okay? And this is a magnetic right here. This is magnetic material. So this is a big magnet right here. And it has my animal spirit, and also the animal of our tribe, which is the deer spirit. Okay, so this is why I usually wear it for tribal stuff, but I just had it on today. I wanted to wear it. Sometimes you just feel it. You know what I mean? So this is why I have this on. It represents my animal spirit and my tribe. All right, let's get back to business. So when you're peaceful, it also, family, preserves time, energy, and emotional well-being, right? You ever feel like you're running out of time? You ever feel like it ain't no time in the day? That's because you don't have peace. You rip it and running. And a lot of having peace has to do with being in the moment. You have to learn that, family. Everybody doesn't know how to be in the moment. We must learn how to be in the moment. The spiritual foundation for inner peace. Inner peace is the cornerstone of spiritual development. That's the fact, family. When we're peaceful inside, we connect with our true nature. This sacred state emerges through 3 essential practices. Cultivating stillness. Sometimes you got to sit down. You got to meditate. Stop ripping and running. Stop looking for things to do. Sit down, right? Cultivate stillness. Practice mindfulness. This is something I've said countless times, right? We're talking about building our spiritual vessel. If you want to truly build a spiritual, you can't be in the higher worlds acting crazy. Can't be up there acting crazy. You're going to have to learn how to build a vessel that has all these attributes, including peacefulness. And you're going to do that by practicing it, family. Practice mindfulness. This is something I told people many times. Mindfulness will teach you how to be in the moment and deepen self-awareness. If you do the first two things, your self-awareness of who you truly are will deepen. All right? Something you got to understand. Why spiritual traditions emphasize peace? Foundation of all spiritual traditions, inner peace, place inner harmony at their core. Peace opens the doors to wisdom, compassion, and clarity. People who don't get it, people who never understand. That's because they don't got no peace. I'm just being honest. People who don't ever understand, they don't get it. They don't know what time it is in the world. You know, that's because they don't have peace on the inside. It's only chaos. But peace opens doors to wisdom, right? Why? Because peace will teach you, be quiet. Listen. Compassion. Anybody can say they're compassionate out of their mouth, but there's a certain level of compassion you need to have. And peace also brings clarity. And anybody who's in a peaceful environment, no, you're never more open psychically or energetically when you're at peace. You're just clear. And that's a beautiful feeling to have. Protection. Disturbances blocks spiritual growth and profound insight, right? So if you're constantly having these disturbances in your life, right? I call it survival mode. You're constantly living in survival mode and you're constantly having disturbances because you're inviting these things in a lot of times. And these will be disturbances that's on the inside of you or disturbances on the outside of you. If you're constantly having these disturbances, family, it's because you don't have enough peace, right? You need to learn how to be peaceful. And we're going to get deeper into what peace is. This is very important that you guys understand this because this is going to help you build your spiritual vessel. You got to have a moment where you just have peace in your life, right? Very important. Why Buddhist wisdom cultivating inner stillness? Buddhist wisdom cultivating inner stillness. Meditation, regular practices still the mind from turbulent waters, right? Mindfulness and non-attachment. Letting go of desires and expectations eases suffering. How many people have heard this saying, expectation is the cause of all suffering? Expectations is the cause of all suffering, right? Or they'll say, wanting things, constantly wanting will makes you suffer. Sometimes you have to be at peace. You have to learn how to just be at peace, family. Protect your energy. A person is what their deep desire is. Think about that. What a person really is what their deep desires are. What you desire more than anything is what you really are. You guys need to think about that. I'm going to say it again. What you desire more than anything is what you really are. You can change your desires. You can truly change your desires. Hindu wisdom recognizes that our energy fields are, I can't see it, it's too far away, permeable, other emotions and intentions, let me blow my screen up a little bit, can disturb our inner state. Setting healthy boundaries isn't selfish, it's essential for self-realization. It creates space for authentic spiritual growth. All right? These are very important things that we need to understand. In the still mind and the depths, and the still mind In the depths of meditation, the self reveals itself. The Bhagavad Gita. In the still mind, in the depths of meditation, the self reveals itself. The ancestor said it. Man, know thyself. And when it said man, it was talking about mankind. Man, know thyself. And you will know who God is. Man and woman, know thyself, and you will know who God is. In the still of the mind, in the depths of meditation, the self reveals itself. You want to find yourself? Learn how to still your mind. Learn how to get deep into meditation. Quieting the mind reveals your true nature. Some of us don't know who we are. We never spent time with ourselves. Right? You never spend time with ourselves. It's a lot as human beings that we're missing in life. I done heard some stuff in this world that is so true, it's hard to even say it. It's hard to even say it. What do I mean by that? Who remembers the song by Wale, Is It Bad That I Never Made Love? But I sure know how to, you know? How many people know how to do that over making love? What if some people never made love before? Something to think about. Some people will go their whole life and they never really made love. They had sex. These are just things in life that we're missing out on because of our mindset. You get your mind right, you can be with somebody you love, and you can make love. You can do sex magic. You can take the magic to the next level. Sex is just a basic form of what we're supposed to be doing in the bedroom. We're supposed to be doing higher vibrational things. Just something to think about, family. Some of us are not creative enough. We don't create things enough. We're missing out on life. We're too focused on breaking our back, working hard, but we don't spend time to think. Think about something creative, right? Sometimes your creative things that you can do will bring you peace. Anybody on here who has a hobby, right? Anybody on here who has a hobby, know I'm telling the truth. You could be having a bad day, and you can get in your hobby, right? Whatever you love, bowling, making purses, painting, drawing. You can get into your hobby, and it'll bring you back down. You'll feel at peace. You'll feel happy again, right? Everybody on here need to find a hobby. Thank you, family. Everybody on here need to find a hobby. If you ain't got a hobby, go find one. Because sometimes we need something constructive to do to bring us peace. Netflix and chill and watching a movie every night and drinking a beer ain't gonna do it. What if your hobby, what if no hobby, just self-improvement as a hobby? Okay, maybe you want to work out, right? You could do self-improvement as a hobby. Some people's hobby is going to the gym, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe that'll lead you towards being like a health fitness coach. Nothing wrong with that. Some people's hobby is sitting in the room and putting herbs together and coming up with great creations. Some people's hobby is study, right? But remember, that hobby is going to lead you somewhere, right? That's a part of finding yourself. When you find a hobby, it's something you love to do, you're actually finding a part of yourself. Everybody needs a hobby. Everybody was born to do something on this planet, right? Understanding emerges from peaceful reflection. Understanding. If you never understand, you need to go get a peaceful reflection to get some understanding. And then right action. Choices rooted in peace create harmonious outcomes. When you make the right choices, family, when you make the right choices, they bring harmonious outcomes. It's not hard to make the right choice. It's just that subconsciously we want to suffer. That's why we make the wrong choice. We never admit it out of our mouth, but in the back of your mind, subconsciously, people want to suffer. All you gotta do is look at people's fruit. Look at the fruit they bear. If you don't bear positive fruit, then you like to suffer. Can I be honest tonight? Or y'all want me to lie to y'all? I'm trying to help you. I found peace. And I'm busy, y'all. I got 100 million things to do. I deal with people every day. I deal with personalities every day. I do consultations, and I'm at peace. So it's a choice. It's a choice. Happiness is a choice. There's no road to happiness. Happiness is the road. So I'm going to be honest with you. All right? Power of boundaries. This is powerful right here. Sometimes, family, on your spiritual journey, you're going to have to set boundaries. You're going to have to set boundaries. I'm a busy man. I got 100 million things to do, but at a certain time of night, you can't call Brother Yosef, and you can't call Chief Nawadi. People know that. At a certain time of night, you can't call me. I set boundaries. Everybody want my attention. They need help with stuff, and that's fine, right? I'm available in the morning. But at a certain time of night, I set a boundary. Sometimes you can't answer your phone. You got to set a boundary. You got to protect your peace. You're not here to save people. Nobody can save nobody. All you can do is share information. So sacred self-care. Boundaries reflect spiritual wisdom, not isolation or fear. Let me read that again. Boundaries reflect spiritual wisdom. Smart people know how to put up boundaries. Right? A wise man once said, you got to have good spiritual hygiene. Right? That comes with setting boundaries. Sometimes you got to tell people no. Some of y'all scared to tell people no. I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. I have come to the point, especially as a leader, where you can't consider people's feelings. You have to consider the truth, whether they believe it or not. Right? You have to learn how to say no. Some people don't want to. They don't know how to say no. It's very hard for them, and they feel guilty. That's a horrible feeling to have. Guilt. Some people feel guilty for saying no, but this is how this is the power of boundaries. You have to protect yourself. You have to set boundaries, family. You have to say no sometimes. You have to protect your energy. You have to say no. All right. So boundaries reflect spiritual wisdom, not isolation or fear. Right. So setting boundaries is not about you going in isolation or being fearful. One thing about fear is that people who are fearful, they never admit it. And it makes it hard to help them. You know, everybody know that person. They never scared of nothing. But you see it subconsciously, you see it all in their life. You know what I'm saying? You see that they're actually scared. But one thing about it, you can't tell a person. They have to be in the right state of mind so you can even tell them. You understand? Energy protection. Shield your sacred space from negativity and drama. I don't care if it's your mama, your best friend, your cousin, your daddy, your co-worker. You're going to have to shield. They want to come with some negative energy, you got to shield yourself. Now, depending on your life and what you do for a living, sometimes you can't avoid drama. But at the same time, you got to remember that's a choice. Well, what am I talking about? Well, maybe you work at a school where you got a rude, where the kids can be rude, or, the other co-workers can be rude. And, sometimes kids have all kinds of issues. It's not, a lot of it ain't their fault, right? And it could be some drama. Or you could work at, when I used to work at the garages back in the day, we used to have the people from the city come around. They were some of the most negative people in the world. Just be honest. Some of them probably watching me right now. You know what I'm saying? They know I had a YouTube channel. They used to be some of the most negative, cutthroat people in the world. And I was like, man, I never really want to work for them in that environment because you don't know, you got the person you think is cool, they stab you in the back. It'd be constant drama, family. I avoid drama at all costs. The person get next to me, start talking about a person a little bit too much, I gotta go. And then I've noticed that person who was doing all the talking, they get in trouble later. Talking too much. Authentic compassion. Set limits to offer true care without depleting yourself, right? If you don't learn how to set up boundaries, you're not going to be able to give people true compassion. You're giving them fake compassion. You think you're being compassionate because you're helping everybody. Compassion is not about helping everybody. Only a fool will help everybody. You help people when you're ready, when they're ready. This is why I don't give out a lot of information sometimes, because I know people ain't ready. But with people who are ready, y'all know who y'all are. I introduce them to certain things when I feel like they're ready. It all depends on who you are. So I'm not going to sit around saying, I love everybody. That's not true. You don't even know people. Doesn't mean that you can't have compassion, right? I'm talking about love, right? You can have compassion on people without knowing them, but you can't, but your compassion has nothing to do with helping them physically. You guys understand that? If you want to give authentic compassion, do it and set limits with the people and say, okay, I'm going to help people that's doing this. I'm going to meet them halfway. I'm not going to do it all for them. You got to do that to yourself, fam, or you're going to burn yourself out. And then if a person turn their back on you, you're going to be mad. Right? This is very important. Breaking negative cycles. Mantras redirect thoughts patterns. Yes, I saw somebody in the chat say it earlier. Yes, mantras can redirect thought patterns. Somebody said, Om Mani Padme Om earlier. Om Mani Padme Om is one of the most powerful mantras. They call it the king of all mantras. That's they call a lot of mantras the king of all mantras. You know, the Gayatri mantra, which is probably my favorite mantra ever. They call that the king of all mantras. Right? And some of y'all, thank y'all for the support. For those who heard the song I put out, the Gayatri mantra, put like an R&B vibe to it. You know what I mean? But that's all to help people get into a state of peace. Right? So yes, speak mantras to redirect your thought patterns. You have a negative thought patterns, you can actually yes, Satanama is very powerful. Satanama, or you can say Satnam. That's a very powerful mantra as well. All right, very powerful, family. Meditation affirmations create new neutral pathways. Affirmations create new neural pathways. My words create my world, and my world is bright. So as I speak, let there be light. My words create my world, and my world is bright. So as I speak, let there be light. My words create my world, and my world is bright. So as I speak, let there be light. Let there be light. Let there be light. Fiat Lux. Come up with a affirmation for yourself. Convince yourself through affirmation that you only speak light. Right? You only speak light. Everything about me is light. That's how I think. And your thoughts become your reality. Right? I'm teaching you how to build a vessel. There's a certain things you're going to need to do to build your vessel. They got something in Buddhism called the truth body. Everybody can't develop that, but it's one of the first bodies you develop in Buddhism, the truth body. Right? When you get to a certain level spiritually, you can't lie to yourself no more. Meditation interrupts harmful cycles. If you keep falling into the same cycle over and over, you need to learn how to meditate. You need to learn how to find yourself. Nini W, thank you for the donation. Peace, family. Most daily thoughts repeat themselves from previous days. And you need to understand when you're repeating your thoughts, you're creating a thought form. Okay, this is very important to understand, family. Protecting peace as an empath. A lot of you guys are empathic. We all are to a certain extent. But a lot of people are empaths. Your aura is like a sponge, if that's true. Empathic individuals absorb others' energies easily, often without realizing it. If you're an empath and you're dealing with any type of anxiety, it's because you need to learn how to have peace. It's a state of mind. Don't get me wrong, you can get your peace interrupted, but you just get back on train. I get my peace interrupted all the time. If you got children, you definitely get your peace interrupted. You know, just some simple stuff. You know, you're trying to save them, you're trying to stop them doing something, depending on their age. But once everything's calmed down and solved, you go back to your peaceful place. We're going to talk about deer spirit in a second too, because the deer is the perfect example of that. All right. So you can create energetic shields through visualization. This is something I used to do back in my early parts of my spiritual growth through the book, Spiritual Growth by Sanaya Roman. Talk about that book 100 times. I used to create energetic shields of lights using my mind, and it works. It works. Practice grounding techniques daily. One of the best grounding techniques is when you're in the shower, just imagine all the negative energy pouring down on you through the shower, down through your feet, down the drain. Very simple but effective way to ground yourself and get rid of negative energy. Balance compassion with energetic boundaries. And we just talked about that. Right? So you want to make sure if you truly want to have compassion, have boundaries. It's okay to tell people no. So it's okay to tell people not right now. I can't do it for you and not feel bad about it. The example of the deer, my spirit animal. Right? Being present. The deer, let me blow this up because it's a little small. Deer remain alert yet peaceful, responding to real threats, not imagined ones. Right? They don't make up stuff in their head and saying that this is going to happen or you're going to do this to me. They respond to real threats. Right? Real threats, not ones they make up in their head. Plenty of gifts. Thank you for the donation. Embracing now. Deers focus on immediate reality rather than worrying about the future. They focus on the now, family. They're not thinking about the future. They can prepare for it. That way they don't have to worry about it. If you prepare for the future, you ain't got to worry about it, family. You can focus on the now. All right? They return to calm quickly after danger passes, a lesson in resilience. They return to calm quickly after danger passes, a lesson in resilience. You need to learn how to be more resilient, family. Right? Deers don't stay focused on negative energy. When it's gone, it's gone. When something happens to you, you need to learn how to get over it. Move past it. Right? Because everything that happens is supposed to happen. Something recently happened in my tribe, and everybody's like, man, how do you just get over it so fast? I've got so many text messages and emails. How do you get past things? I accept things as they are. And you move on, family. There's no need to be negative. There's no need to have a negative mindset. But some people can't help but to have a negative mindset when things happen. You have to learn how to move on and focus on the great things in your life. You know, focus on gratitude. And now I want you to focus on peace. I've been preaching gratitude for a long time. But also you need to focus on peace. All these things are important, family. Peace. Protect your peace at all costs. So here's some spiritual advice. I recommend meditating daily for at least 5 minutes and focus on your breathing. That's it. Start your day with an affirmation. I am at peace. I am protected. Divine calm flows through me. I am at peace. I am protected. Divine calm flows through me. I am at peace. I am protected. Divine calm flows through me. Say that to yourself. Because one of the reasons why people don't feel at peace is because they're scared. They're fearful. People are fearful about things that they don't even know why. They don't even understand. You could be fearful about losing somebody. You could be fearful about the things in your dream and wonder why you don't dream at night. Your dreams are being blocked because of something that you're afraid of. And your dreams don't block you out to protect you. One thing about fear that I've learned is that when you stand up to it, it shuts down. Fear, if you let it control you, it will shut you down. But if you stand up to fear, it shuts down. That even works in your dreams. Everybody who in a dream know when you turn around and look at the thing that's chasing you, it stops chasing you. Or it usually runs away. It's just like Freddy Krueger, right? As long as he's in your dream, as long as you're scared of him, he got power. Same situation, family. Walk in nature, mindfully outdoors, and absorb the natural stillness of the trees in the sky. You know, nature has this sway to it when you're outside. You ever sit on a bench at a park and the wind is blowing and you see the trees moving with the wind? And then you see the birds flying the same way the wind is going? It's like everything has this vibe to it. And then if you get deep into it, you'll actually be sitting on the bench and you'll start vibing with the wind and vibing with the trees. Nature can take you there. More people need to get in nature more often. Even if you only can sit outside in your backyard. You know, go do that, family. It's so hot in Texas, y'all. So hot in Houston. I ain't trying to go to no park. It's too hot. You know what I'm saying? It's 100 degrees, 90-something degrees every day. So sometimes, you know, Brother Yosef got to go outside, sit in his backyard, put my feet in the grass, and be cool with that. Buddhist wisdom, acceptance and letting go. Release attachment to outcomes you can't control. Stop trying to control everything. Now, some of us depending on who you are, you have to control things. I'm a chief. You know, I have to control things. I don't have a choice. But if you don't have to be in control of something, stop trying to control it. You're taking away the beauty of it. Like the great sage said, when you see a rose, don't cut it. Don't pick it up. Let it be. Let it be a rose. When you pick it up, you're taking away from the beauty of it. Instead, look at the rose. Let it be. Let it sit there and just look at it. Let it be. Stop trying to take control of things. Don't pick up the rose. Let it be there. Enjoy it. You know what I mean? Some of us want to be in control too much. The Vedic teaching, surrender results to the divine with faith and trust. I love this thing right here. Change is not hard. It's the resistance to change that's hard. Huh? I'm going to say it again. Change is not hard. It is the resistance to change that's hard. Change is only hard when you resist it. What are some things that make you resist change? Change is always happening. The only thing that's constant in the universe is change. So why don't you go with change? Things change. Things get upgraded. Nothing stays the same. Only your fool sits there in his mind or her mind and thinks that everything stays the same. Get out of fantasies. People be in fantasies in their head. Get out of that fantasy. Right? Fear, exactly. Fear is something that makes people resist change. Got to get past fear. Because fear will hurt you and it will hurt everybody around you if you don't get past it. But if a person's in a state of fear, you can't tell them that. That's one thing about a person. If they're in a negative mindset, you can't tell them. They're not going to believe you. So you have to get out of a certain mindset to even want to change. Fear is the number one thing that stops things from changing. Fear. So true. Change is not hard. Of course, you can become a higher level spiritual being if you want to change. But if you don't want to give up and do that shadow work and work on yourself, if you don't want to give up, if you don't want to start doing those type of things to change, right? If you're only into power when it comes to spirituality, you're not into growth and elevation. Some parts of growth and elevation are boring. I want to get into magic, brother Joseph. I don't want to talk about no peace. Well, if you don't want to get into peace, you're missing out on the whole thing. You need to develop a divine vessel so your higher self can live in it more often. Your higher self, your divine self, does not want to live in trash. It does not want to live in a trashy mind, a trashy heart. You know what I'm saying? Or a messed up attitude. It wants to live in something divine. You can build that vessel. And the more you build that vessel, the more evolving you will do. I'm trying to tell y'all what I know. I bear fruits. Trying to tell y'all what I know. See, but the world flipped it on you. They made you think that this is the weak stuff. This is the boring stuff. The light is weak. The light is boring. That's the dark forces talking to you. Right? That's the dark forces talking to you, family. So I'm going to read it again just to hit another jab. Change is not hard. It's the resistance to change that's hard. Right? Stop resisting. Learn how to surrender. When you surrender, perfect peace. And sometimes, y'all, I don't know what I'm going to do spiritually. What's next? I wait around until I ask the spirit, what do you want me to do? In the meantime, I work on myself. And the spirit will tell me, okay, this is next. You need to do this next. Right? You need to take care of that. You need to take care of this. And I just follow suit. And so far, it has not led me wrong in life. When you really learn how to listen to your higher self. I had to change my mind first, y'all. Change my heart and change my mind. Then it happened. It was more clear. My dreams got better. My life got better. My relationship got better. When I changed things. If you're still dealing with the same things you've been dealing with 10 years ago, you have not fully changed, family. All right? Nick Fire, thank you for the donation. Universal truth. True acceptance brings profound and lasting inner peace. True acceptance. Just surrender. Surrender, family. Peace enables compassion. When our hearts are turbulent, we cannot truly offer compassion to others. Anxiety creates reactivity instead of responsiveness. You react more than you respond. Right? You be talking to a person and they cut you off because what they think you about to say. They don't know what you about to say. They think they know what you about to say. So they cut you off. Self-protection instead of openness. Right? An open person is you're dangerous. You're too open. Right? And we're talking about the type of openness, family, that's going to put you in harm's way. That's going to have somebody hurt you. Don't open yourself up all the way. Right? Open yourself up in stages. Don't be too open too early. You know what I mean? Sometimes a person meet a person, 2 weeks later, they're in love. You got to be careful. You got to take your time. You got stages to openness. Take your time. Can I be honest with y'all tonight? I'm telling y'all. Fear-based actions instead of love-based ones. Right? So when you don't have peace, you go on fear-based actions. Right? Instead of love-based ones. You're all about fear. You react on fear instead of love. Very dangerous to be in that space, family. Here's some powerful quotes for y'all to remember. Powerful quotes for y'all to remember. Peace is the highest bliss. That's a Buddhist quote. And that is so true. And anybody on here can't. Sometimes people only get peace when they go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? But you know when you had a good sleep, a good peaceful sleep, right? But when you can sit around your house or sit in your life and have peace, there's nothing better than that. Peace is a form of bliss. And the Buddhists say it's the highest bliss. From peace, all happiness flows. The Bhagavad Gita. From peace, you can get all happiness. And everybody know that's true as well. When you have peace, you're happy. Let a man conquer anger by love, untruth by truth. Love requires you to be open. Now that goes back into what we was talking about the slide before here. You got to open up in stages. Love requires you to be open. It does. But you can't open all the way immediately. You're going to get yourself hurt. You're going to get yourself hurt. You have to take things in stages. Take your time. Peace will teach you that. Right? Sometimes it's a new job, and based off of fear, you run into a new job based on fear. When you're supposed to already see it coming. Even in the Bible, it says a wise man prepares himself. A wise man sees the coming calamities and prepares himself. He don't sit around and wait. A wise man sees the coming calamities ahead and he prepares himself. That's how I live my life. I don't wait until they get bad. I see what's happening in the world. You think I care? I'm going to protect me and my family and my people to the best ability I can. That's all you can do. And let the divine forces do the rest. But some people in life, they wait until they get fired to go get a new job. You could be giving them advice. Hey, sister, brother, you should go look now. Just for example, you should go look now. And people are waiting till the last moment. Don't be a last moment person. Learn how to see things in advance. Prepare yourself and deal with it. That's what a wise person would do. That's how you should do, family. Right? So love requires you to be open, but you must open in stages. Open up too early, you get hurt. You open in stages, sometimes you can see flaws. You can see red flags in friendships and relationships, at jobs, right? You got to do things in stages, family. But peace is what gives you that thing that wants to be patient. Peace. It makes you want to be patient. Very important to understand. So making peace a spiritual priority, the first thing it's going to do is your sacred duty. Peace also is going to open spiritual gateways. And peace will also give you universal connection. Protect your inner light so you can illuminate the world. These are important things that we need to live by, family. All right? I hope you guys enjoyed that slide. Those slides. I feel like everybody in the world right now needs to hear about peace and needs to learn how to have peace of mind. Right now, there's all this craziness in the world. You got to protect your peace, fam. You got to protect your peace. Or you're going to get hurt. You're going to go crazy. You're going to lose your mind. You're going to be sad. You're going to be hurt. Protect your peace. Protect your peace, family. All right? This is not something I just want to come up and be positive about. No, this is a real principle that if you practice it, it will change your life. Learn how to get away from negative situations and people. You got to learn how to get away. You got to learn how to make better choices. Being a peaceful person is going to help you make better choices. One thing about me, I'll get rid of everything if it ain't peaceful. That's a fact. Anybody who really knows me know that. If it gets so bad where I don't have any more peace, I shut it all down. Get rid of it. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. You're never going to destroy Brother Yoseph's peace. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have my peace. I'm going to sleep good. You know, well, you know, sometimes I'll get up early. It's because I'm thinking sometimes I'm so creative until my creativity keeps me up at night. But that's not a negative thing, right? Sometimes I get excited about doing something, but I know I need to sleep. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you setting boundaries with people you love is what's going to help you be peaceful. It's okay. Can't feel bad about it, family. Never let, if you know in your heart that you're making a good decision about anything in life, never let a person alive make you feel bad about it. Because remember, you got to give an answer to the higher forces. When you leave this planet, you got to give an answer to your higher self about whether you did people right or not. If you know in your heart that you're doing right by people and you're doing the right thing, never let nobody, I don't care if it's your mama, don't let nobody change your mind. Stand on what you believe in. That's how I got as far as I did. And usually the person you standing up against, they don't got no fruit. So they have to convince you that something's wrong with you. And that's not what that is, family. Understand who you're taking advice from sometimes. That's very important. If a person ain't got their life together, what you taking advice from them for? You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about perfection, somebody being perfect. If somebody don't got a good marriage or a decent marriage, let's just say, if I feel like you've been married 20 years, you got at least a decent marriage, you know, or 15 years. If you've been married, I say 10 years. You've been married 10 years, you at least got a decent marriage, right? Decent marriage. If a person ain't been married at least 10 years, what you taking advice from them for? Because the first 5 years, you still in the honeymoon phase. You're trying to figure it out, right? If a person doesn't have a lot of friends, what are you taking advice from them for and being friends or friendships? They don't have a lot of friends. I'm just being truthful and being honest with you. If a person is never you never seen no spiritual evidence from this person of growth and evolution. And it ain't hard to see. It could be psychological. This person hasn't changed psychologically. That means that a person don't bear no fruit. That's important to have these days because there's so much misinformation. There's so many lies out here in the world. There's so many people that fake it till they make it. You got to really get with somebody that's going to push you, regardless of how you feel about it. All right? I'm going to answer some questions here, family. I want to remind everybody, the Secrets of the Cauldron Magic, July 6th. You can get your tickets at newlifetools.org. Also, the end of the year event, October 4th. You can get your tickets at newlifetools.org. All right? In October, it's going to be a dope event, family. So we are pushing towards evolution. Melindia Fuentes, I know who you are. Peace, family. How you been doing? So gratitude. All right, let me go back a little bit. You guys can ask questions as we go. And I'm going to go back. Let me see. I know you covered this in your other videos, but I've been stuck. Where can I start my spiritual journey? Or what advice do you give a person who is struggling walking a spiritual path? Okay, I always tell people to get into a system. The system will give you something to do daily to walk your path. Walking your spiritual path has to come from your heart. It's not something you have to feel like you forced to do. It's two type of people in spirituality. People who want power, people who want to grow. You got to first of all decide which person are you. Are you here for the power to get magical spells? You know, that's cool. Or are you here for evolution? Well, if you're here for evolution, you should at least start with your ancestor altar. Start with an ancestor altar. You know, start working with your own divine, your own energy, working with your own ancestors. Start working with them. If you got ancestors that nobody in the family like each other, then I don't recommend working with your ancestors. There's families like that, believe it or not. The whole family don't like each other. And you can't, you never knew your grandparents wasn't good to you, your uncles wasn't good to you. Then you just have to, you know what I mean? You have to do something else, family. I would recommend working with the deities at that point. Find a deity that you can connect to and work with that deity. These are things you can do if you're walking a spiritual path, right? If you're walking a spiritual path, man. Start with a deity altar, and then I want you to start reading and getting an understanding on spiritual principles. I recommend start studying Kabbalah. It's a book called The Power of Kabbalah. Go get that book. It has some really good principles to start with. Let's see here. Fake it till you make it, but you might get stuck faking. They don't tell you that part. That's true. Brother Yosef, I saw 4 falcons and one of a snake. What might it mean? I don't understand. You mean you saw that in your dream, or you saw it like I don't understand. You got to give me a little bit more detail. You know what I mean? 4 falcons and a snake. You know, anybody, if you saw it physically, anybody could be walking down the street seeing that, depending on where you live at. But if you saw it in your dream, you know what I mean? I don't know which one you're talking about, family. What advice do you have to get past a deep romantic relationship that has ended? Okay, usually when you're in love with people and it ends, people fall into a fantasy. Okay, they fall into a fantasy of not wanting to let that person go, right? They think that person may come back. If it's over, you're going to have to believe it's over. That's sometimes why it's hard to let a person go, because sometimes one person or sometimes both people don't want to believe it's over. Oh, we had a little issue, we'll be back. And that becomes a toxic relationship. You know, you break up, you make up, you break up, you make up, you break up, you make up, you know, you got to figure out what you want to do. Either you're going to be together with somebody or you're not. So if you're in a very deep romantic relationship, look at the reality of why it ended, right? And use that reality to help you push past it, right? If a person cheated on you or you cheated on that person, then maybe you got to look at your own self and say, hey, I don't deserve to be with that person. Let me be real about this. I don't want to hurt this person no more. Let me move on. You see what I'm saying? Does semen retention heal your astral body? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It expands your astral body as well. Will you ship internationally if we pay for FedEx? No, I will not ship internationally. I don't ship around the world. Usually people get like a box here and have that box shipped to them internationally. I have some really bad experiences shipping internationally, so I don't do that anymore, fam. I only ship in America. Sometimes Canada. Does sun salutations help build the solar light body? It can. It can. Just looking at the sun with a positive energy helps build the solar light body in a small way, small basic way. All right. But yeah, you can do mantras to the sun to connect with your solar body. Absolutely. There's a very powerful one I have on Spotify called Sun Mantra for the Soul. Very powerful mantra to Lord Assyria that is very powerful, that can connect you with the sun. How do you practice non-attachment when you're working to create the lifestyle you desire? I practice visualization constantly, and is there such thing as too much? Well, visualization is one thing, but non-attachment has to do with you facing reality, right? Sometimes you gotta think in your mind, is it even worth it? What I'm attached to. If it's not worth it, then you gotta make a choice. Non-attachment is all about choices. People are attached to things because that's what they choose to be. And the people will be attached to things that they'll say out of their mouth they don't want it. Right? But they'll keep going back to it over and over and over. People want to suffer, whether they admit it or not. Right? People want to suffer whether they admit it or not. So learn how to make better choices. And you do that by practicing principles. Right? Learn how to be more peaceful. Learn how to have more gratitude. Right? Start with those 2 things, and then see if you still deal with attachment issues. I bet you won't. What do you do to help with anger? There's a lot of things you can do to help with anger. The first thing to do is try to realize what's triggering the anger. It could be multiple bad relationships. It could be something that you dealt with in the past as a little child that can trigger your anger, right? But anger is very dangerous. It's a very negative emotion. That all comes with realization. I'm going to do my next video about realization. The power of realization. I'm going to give away a big secret in here. I kind of don't want to give it away now. How to realize. When you truly realize, things become real. When you truly realize, things become real. It's the reason why some people can levitate and some people can't. They realize something that you don't. It's the reason why I think people can move things with their mind, because they realize something that you don't realize. So you can go against a negative emotion by practicing a positive emotion. You have to literally practice that. And you have to be okay with understanding that sometimes your positive emotions are going to be challenged. So how do you deal with anger? By making a choice to do something positive, right? Because as soon as you get angry, right, can't help it sometimes, right? But what you do after is your choice. You can be angry. Even the Bible tell you what? Be angry and sin not. Right? Well, in spiritual principles, they tell you life is not about what's happening to you. It's about how you respond to it. So it's okay to be angry. What are you going to do after you get angry? How are you going to respond to being angry? You should take a few deep breaths, go take a walk, or learn how to feel positive emotions, and you can get rid of that anger. Remember that principle, y'all. Life is not about what's happening to you. It's about how you respond to it. Every negative thing you go through in life is life testing you. It's your higher self testing you. And they want to see how you're going to respond to the situation. Remember times I've been driving and a person who I know they couldn't touch me if they tried, give me the finger, curse me out. You know what I'm saying? Or you driving and somebody cut you off, what are you going to do? Get out the window, curse them out, stick up your finger? You walk a spiritual path. You're trying to be more of a divine person. You practicing divinity. You're trying to be righteous. You got to think about those things. It's all about the choices you make. Life is not about what's happening to you. It's about how you respond to it. Never forget that, family. Where did you first learn to do rituals? Is it something that you just intuit? So I first learned how to do my first rituals by practicing Wicca. Right? Wicca taught me my first rituals. My first rituals was dealing with the moon. Right? But if you want to be honest, my first rituals really the mental rituals, working with the book Spiritual Growth by Sanaya Roman. But then it became working with Wicca. I was a Wiccan for like almost 3 years. I practiced the Yulis. I messed with the holidays. I worked with the moon, and I learned so much. That's how I learned about the Cauldron, because that took me into another type of magic, right? So I thought magic and spirituality was all about doing rituals. That's what I thought. And then I learned that you can actually grow from this, and by developing your mind. It's all about your mind. But yes, Wicca, who people sleep on, is what taught me how to do some of my first rituals. And if you guys don't know, Wicca is witchcraft. It's a form of what they call white witchcraft. How is this topic related to the rainbow body? It's not really related to the rainbow body, but in order to develop a certain vessel, you do still need to have peace. All right. Okay, this is an interesting question. Happy Friday, Joseph. What thoughts on the Galactic Federation of Worlds betraying the lights? Have you noticed a lot of darkness is happening in the world? Yes, that's part of the plan. The darkness is here to change things. Darkness has to happen to cause chaos to change things. Things don't change unless chaos happens. You guys got to understand that. There will never be a time where darkness don't exist. Darkness is part of creation. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's going to be a time when there's more light on the planet, but darkness will always be there. Some people think it's just going to be pure light. You're not going to get that till you get to the higher worlds. And even up there's demonic forces, demons that live inside the sun. Right? There's demons on the 6th dimension. There's demons on the 7th dimension. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is that darkness will always be present, but in certain areas, there's more lights. As far as the Galactic Federation of Worlds betraying the light, that's not happening at all. If that's the case, they could never be the Galactic Federation. They have not betrayed the light. And trust me, I know that. Darkness was happening before people even heard the word Galactic Federation. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. What does rainbows in your aura mean? It means that's a higher, very high vibrational aura. Very high vibrational aura. How do you feel about having a mental altar instead of a physical? I think everybody needs to start with a physical altar. Brother Yosef, I love you. I love you too, family. Is facing your demons a good idea? Yes. Depending on what you mean. Doing shadow work is facing your demons. Doing shadow work is facing your demons, family. Brother Yosef, any advice on meditation for beginners? Yes. You want to take your tongue, put it to the roof of your mouth behind your teeth, and focus on your breathing. Do this for 5 minutes to start. No longer than 5 minutes. Focus on your breath in and out. In and out of your nose. Just focus on your breathing. That's a good way to start your meditations. What time we got here? Okay. It's a little over an hour. I answer a few more questions and I'm going to go. I'm looking for some good ones. Don't get mad if I don't answer your question. You want to get more questions answered, come on my Patreon channel. Link below the description. Have you visited the Nordic space arcs? They are a powerful technology that connects to those who are in the correct frequency. Yes, those vessels are real. They are powerful technology. Nordic technology is not too far advanced from humans. Maybe a few thousand years. You know, some of these beings, their technology is like 100,000 years ahead of ours, 50,000 years. You know, but yeah, the Nordics are very active on Earth right now, and a lot of their crafts are right in the sky. Right in the sky, family. Yeah, some of them are here to help. It's so fishy with some ET. The only thing about ET groups, let me tell you, there's always a negative and positive aspect to them. It's always one or two that work with the dark side, but the vast majority being a light. That happens, family. Let's see here. I have a lot to say in my question. How much are consultations? So, if you're not part of my Patreon, I don't do consultations outside of that. I used to do them in the public, but now you got to be in my Patreon channel. If you're on my Patreon channel, you're a $20 member. It will cost you $100 for a 30-minute consultation. If you're a $65 member, then you get a consultation every month. It's part of the $65 plan. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I do. That's how a person would talk to me, family, if they have to. Do you have any advice for someone who grew up in a cult, Jehovah's Witnesses? I was just telling people last night, I did a class on Patreon on stars, hyperstars. And I was talking about how Jehovah's Witnesses are actually, Church of Latter-day Saints are wizards. Jehovah's Witnesses are sorcerers. You know what I'm saying? What do you call the other group? Mormons are witches. I'm telling y'all what it is. If you don't know, a lot of witches and warlocks and stuff, they hide behind these groups. Why do you think the Mormons are so powerful in Utah? They run a whole state. Name another spiritual group that run a whole state. They're witches. You know, and you got good witches and bad witches, but I'm trying to tell y'all that the Mormons are actually highly behind the scenes. They are witch. They practice witchcraft. You know what I mean? And they use different stars, and that's why we was talking about last night. And part of it, people, you know, some people think that because the Church of Jesus Christ and Latter-day Saints used the upside down pentagram in some of their earlier temples, They think that's the morning star. The upside down pentagram is not the morning star. The morning star is an 8-pointed star, to be more exact. Once again, Satan ain't got nothing to do with Lucifer. I know some people look at Lucifer as something negative. That's fine. I'm not trying to convince you, but just use your common sense. You know what I'm saying? Lucifer is light, knowledge, all this stuff. Satan is destruction. You know what I mean? Saturn, all this stuff. Lucifer is Venus. So you know, use your common sense, fam. You could make Lucifer evil on a certain level if that's what you choose. That's on a lower level, though. Can you elaborate on eliminating Jesus from your bloodline? A lot of ancestors are trapped because they were beaten into religion. How do we break that cycle? You can't do it for your ancestors. You're going to have to do it yourself for the future generations. You want to break that cycle so your children don't have to go through that. You know, so the next bloodline don't have to, like, my daughter knows nothing about Christianity. You know, she don't understand fully what that is, Jesus Christ and all that stuff. I'm keeping her out of that. So once again, family, y'all check the website. Yeah, Scott Cunningham is good for Wicca. Absolutely. That's what I started with. And people don't know Scott Cunningham was a triple OG. It ain't a lot of sorcerers and wizards that was going to stand up against Scott Cunningham. He was the real deal, Holyfield. You know, it's funny, just because somebody practice voodoo, they think that's the biggest, baddest magic. You don't understand. It's like martial arts. You could know tiger style. That could be very deadly, right? From Shaolin. But a regular karate master, if he's trained in his art, he's mastered his art, he could beat you. It doesn't matter what you come at him with. It all depends on how good you are at your art. It's the same thing in magic. Just because you practice voodoo don't mean somebody need to be scared of you. It's about how good are you when you're voodoo or somebody, and usually it happens like this. I've been in a few fights myself. It happens like this. When you throw something back at that person, they can't handle it. You see what I'm saying? That's where the real thing come in. You don't start the fight, but when somebody hits you back, it's so funny. I was talking about this on my Patreon about a month ago. I was in an astral plane, and this black dude, I think he was like Caribbean or something. He just walked up to me in the astral. He was dreaming. So he was actually dreaming as well. And I noticed him. And usually that don't happen. Other people who are dreaming don't just walk up to you and start. But he started saying some stuff out of his mouth. And I had, I'm good at projecting my energy. So I project his energy back and I pushed him back from me and said, brother, I don't know you. Stay back. So a staff appeared in his hand. He's shaking it, rattling. He's saying some stuff to me. So I'm like, this dude is trying to, you know what I'm saying? He's trying to control my energy or do something. So he grabbed me and I used all my energy to crush him. I'm not going to go into detail, but all I'm going to do is tell y'all this. He started calling on Jesus. He's like, in the name of Jesus Christ. He came from being a big bad voodoo guy until when I put the hurt on him, on his astral body, he started calling on Jesus. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was like, wait a minute, man. You came over here acting all, Oh, you thought I was just a regular person. Okay. Plenty of Gifts said, who's that picture behind you? Tribal brother Adam. No, man, that's just a regular picture I found a long time ago. I always liked it. It's like a black guy got his tribal stuff on. It's not nobody in particular though. But yeah, it's a dope picture, family. Dope picture. You know what I mean? Dope picture. So it's a indigenous, copper colored man with all the, tribal things on. Look powerful. So I always love that picture, man. So once again, if you guys want more information, you guys can come to my Patreon channel. Dragon Magic 103 is available for those who didn't get the class. Y'all better get that, boy. I dropped some gems in there. I'm always dropping gems to that. That's where I'm gonna drop a lot of my deep stuff at now. It's gonna be in my classes. YouTube is going to be focused on trying to evolve y'all, but these are gems as well. You know, it's amazing what we think is not important becomes important when you really learn and you grow. You see what I'm saying? So can't escape the light, not darkness. Just embrace it in balance. I'm not sure what that means. Yes, family. So all the links I'm talking about will be below in the description. I thank you guys for watching. I'm about to get out of here. My next class will be the Cauldron Magic class. I'm gonna reveal a lot of dope secrets in there. Cauldron Magic class. It's $80. And then we're gonna focus on the tribal event, which we're gonna open to the public at the end of the year. Return of the Divine Ones. Return of the Divine Ones, family. All right. That's what's gonna happen. So who got more power, Jews or Mormons? Definitely the Jews got more power. You know what I'm saying? Mormons run a state. Jews run a state too, but their state is like a country. You know what I'm saying? And Jews are behind a lot of people. It's a lot of Jews that exist that pretend like they're not Jews and they run stuff. You know what I mean? And as small of a country they are, look what they got the power to do. Iran is bigger than Israel, but look what Israel is able to do to Iran. They got a lot of power for a small country, and we all know why. I'll answer this last question. Brother Yosef, is Metatron a good positive deity to work with? Yes, Metatron is the right hand of God. I did a whole video on my Patreon channel called Metatron, the boss of all bosses. Metatron, the boss of all bosses. You know what I mean? You got to understand who Metatron is. It's pretty much the right hand of God. You know what I mean? He's very real. He has more of a male form. He's very real, but he's extremely powerful. Like mind-bendingly powerful. And yes, Metatron really used to be a human at one time. I want to say that again for people who don't know. Metatron, the angel Metatron, Archangel Metatron, was once a human, yes. You can call him Enoch if you want to. That's what the Bible calls him. But yeah, he was once a human. All right. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys. I hope this video encourages you guys to practice peace, to cultivate inner peace into your life. And I really suggest that you guys practice that to live a happier and better life. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Don't get mad if I didn't answer your question. I can't answer everybody's question. You know what I'm saying? Thank everybody for the donations tonight. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And I will talk to you guys in the next one. Peace and love, family. Peace and love. Peace.